So Date Night stars Steve Carell and Tina Fey, and it's about a couple that's going out for dinner. The married couple, they've been married for a few years. They want to have a romantic night out. Things go awry when they steal somebody's reservation. Let's look at the trailer.
Makes sense.
Oh, you just put in your mouth guard. That usually means we're not gonna, you know.
Oh.
How lucky can one guy be?
We can still fool around.
Really?
Let me just get my head around it.
Honey, it's fine.
I mean, just
Yeah.
Kick in the head.
My wife and I are on a date. We were hoping to get here earlier, actually get a table.
You didn't quite make it, did you?
We'll be standing over there.
Okay, I've already forgotten about you.
All right.
Triple horn? Party of two? Maybe we should go someplace else.
I want tonight to be different.
Triple horn.
Us.
What are you doing?
We are the Triple Horns.
Great.
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Triplehorn.
Get up. Now.
Honey,
Get up.
Did you really think you could steal from Joe Miletto?
this is just a big misunderstanding. We are Phil and Claire Foster. Hey, God! No, he turned it sideways. Kill shot! That's a kill shot!
They had no idea who they were dealing with.
Honey, if I'm gonna get whacked off, what are you smiling about?
No, we might get bumped off. We're not going to get whacked off.
I think we are.
All right, there you go. Date night. Now, Christy, what'd you think?
Right, so the big draw of this is supposed to be you have Steve Carell and Tina Fey, the stars of The Office and 30 Rock, so it's like your Thursday nights at home on the big screen. And that sounds great on paper, the pairing of them, because they're so funny individually. The idea of the two of them together just sounds perfect, can't miss. I actually found them really distracting together. I never bought them as a couple because they are Steve Carell and Tina Fey, because they have these larger-than-life comic personas. I didn't really buy them as a married couple. I always felt like I was watching Steve Carell and Tina Fey. There's some very funny individual lines here, very funny individual moments, but I think it's all over the place in terms of tone. Like it's wild and then very serious and kind of sentimental and dramatic. It teeters on the edge of being kind of kinky, like it sort of toys with being kind of kinky and weird in some scenes. There's a great scene with James Franco and Mila Kunis, whose table it is that they steal, but sort of shies away from it every time. So yeah, wasn't a huge fan. You want my rating? I gave it a 4.
4, that's tough.
I'm tough.
All right, now here's the situation. Okay, here is the situation about date night. You know, I wanted to like it, right? So it's got a couple of my favorites, Tina Fey and Steve Carell. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the next movie with Alec Baldwin and Pam from The Office. And it's a funny combination. And it just, in the beginning, it was really flat. And I was ready for a 4 rating for the first half of the movie. Like, they're trying to sentimental stuff or the serious stuff, and I felt like it wasn't quite working. And I'm like, all right, get to it already a little bit. But there were some funny parts. But I thought it really picked up at the end. The James Franco and Mila Kunis scene I thought was excellent. The dancing scene was funny. And like all of a sudden it got funny in the second half of the movie. So then I was like, okay. Like I felt myself pulling up the rating as we were going along. By then I had enough fun to say a 6.0. And so, you know, movies cost so much these days that I wouldn't go to the theater to see this one. But I think this is going to be a rock-solid DVD for you in about, what is that, 8, 10 months? You're going to put it in on a Friday night and be like, that was pleasant. Matt, what do you think?
So what was your rating?
6.
6. All right.
Okay.
Well, so I got to tell you, I thought that this movie was decent. It's not great, but it's okay, and it's got its problems, like Christy says. You know, it's very uneven. It, to me, doesn't really start picking up until about halfway through, and then it kind of gets exciting. But I thought that Steve Carell and Tina Fey were great. I did think that there was an element to them, specifically in one particular scene where they're kind of heckling the hostess coming in as this faux Eurotrash couple, that I thought this is that couple that everybody knows, that everybody hates because they're trying to be more smart Alex, more smart ass than everyone else. And they think that they're so witty and so smart, and they're the only ones, you know, kind of there's a smugness there, but they're both charming enough that I thought they pulled it off. And I thought that their jokes probably made up, to me, just put me over the edge over the rest of the film in spite of the other problems. So I give it 5.5.
All right, so in the end, I wind up giving it the highest rating anyway. Like, and I thought I was being kind of tough on the movie. And once again, I'm Paul Abdul. Okay, and but Chrissy, look, their interaction, I thought did work. I thought they were totally like, I thought this is a couple we should see over and over again. I almost felt like they are married. They should do a couple more movies together.
Well, you know what's funny? They have the obligatory outtakes at the end of the movie, right? So it's only 87 minutes long, but you stick around past the credits and there are more. And the outtakes are funnier than the actual movie. And you get a glimpse of what it might have been like if they just let these two ad-lib more. I mean, the script is so sappy and so corny sometimes. The director is Sean Levy, who did Night at the Museum. So you have these big, frantic action sequences. This is interminable car chase. But the two of them together, yeah, you're right. They are funny together, and I wish they could have just played off each other. Like the outtakes alone, if you just watched those and didn't know what the movie is about, that would be okay.
I think their second movie together is going to be pretty good, and their third movie together is going to rock. Okay, so keep at it. Look, here's what I'd like to ban. Although it was a creative one and a different one, I'd like to ban all car chases from now on in every movie.
See, I got to tell you, I actually liked the car chase in this. I thought the car chase was fun. I thought it was hilarious. That it was the sports car up against the cab, and one of them's driving backwards, and they're getting chased by the cops. I thought that was really funny.
That's why I said it was creative. And I'll tell you, the movie started getting funny when the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm, the black cab driver, started screaming. Like, he has a funny scream.
Right,
So and then it picked up from there, right? So I'm just so tired in general, not in regards to this movie, of the car chases, so.
In French Connection and Bullet. Can we just leave it at those two and never have one ever again?
No, see, I disagree, because Ronin is one of my favorite movies, and that's nothing but car chases. You could do a whole car chase movie, and
great.
that would be fine.
We can't get consensus.
Exactly.
I was trying to achieve bipartisanship here, and like Obama, I failed.
The other thing I have to bring up about this movie, about having Tina Fey and Steve Carell, is that did you start to feel, I know I did, started to feel like any minute we were going to get commercial breaks and start hearing bing, 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 the NBC break, right?
Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You never forget you're watching Tina Fey and Steve Carell.
I felt good for Michael. I mean, he's got a hot date with the girl who's running, what is it, TGS?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was nice to see Steve Carell kind of dial down the Michael Scott, right? It's a little bit closer to his character from 40-Year-Old Virgin, who's a little bit normal. It's kind of nice to see Steve Carell do someone that's normal and not completely insane like you see him do in a lot of other films.
Right. So in the end, we wind up giving it a combined 5.2, which is pretty mediocre. We were hoping for a little bit better than that, but that's what we got. So I think most of us would agree, if you're going to go see it, probably wait for the DVD.